King Faisal of Saudi Arabia was a ruler who, by a single command, made the superpower America kneel before him, the only Muslim monarch to do so. He took on the whole world for Palestine's freedom. But just as Faisal became the greatest leader of the Muslim world, he was martyred by a bullet from his own nephew, a prince of the Saudi family. Where did the Saudi house get such power from? To answer that, we must go much further back. About 1,400 years ago, the Prophet, peace be upon him, conquered this entire region during his lifetime. But after the Prophet passed away, many Arab tribes rebelled against the first caliph, Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him. Some people even falsely claimed prophethood. The biggest of these false prophets was Musaylima the liar, Musaylama al-Kaddab. So Caliph Abu Bakr sent his best general, Khalid ibn al-Walid, to reconquer Arabia from these rebels. Khalid rapidly reconquered the region, and his final battle was against Musaylima. In the Battle of Yamama, Khalid defeated Musaylima and his tribe Banu Hanifa so utterly that Banu Hanifa could not recover for 1,000 years. 1,000 years later, a new ruler from Musaylima's tribe, Banu Hanifa, rose, the first king of the Saud family, Muhammad bin Saud. When Saud became king, the dominant power in the Muslim world was the Ottoman Caliphate, whose rulers largely followed Sufi practices. During Ottoman rule, the state of Mecca was such that 4 different imams stood in the Grand Mosque to lead the same prayer daily, Hanafi, Shafiqi and Hanbali, and none would follow another's lead. A scholar in Arabia who disliked this system was Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab. When he raised his voice against these practices, the people expelled him from his own town. He had knowledge but lacked force to spread his ideas. That force came when he allied with the first Saudi ruler. Together, the Saudis and the Wahhabis formed a strong government in Najd. Still, their power was nothing compared to the Ottoman Caliphate. 200 years later, the Ottoman Empire was gasping its last breath during World War I. The British Empire and the Ottomans confronted each other, and the British knew they couldn't topple the Ottomans without Arab support. So the British set out to win Arab leaders over. They found a powerful Arab leader in Sharif Hussein of Mecca, a man of the Prophet's lineage and a respected scholar. The British promised Sharif Hussein that if he helped defeat the Ottomans, they would not abolish the Caliphate, but would take it from the Turks and return it to an Arab Muslim ruler. Hearing this, the Arabs happily joined the British against the Ottomans. As a result of the Arab revolt, the Ottoman domains were broken up. But the British did not keep their promise. They told Sharif Hussein he could be the caliph only if he handed Palestine over to the Jews, an offer Sharif Hussein tore up. Angered by his defiance, the British withdrew their support. Suddenly there was no major Arab leader left. That vacuum was exactly what a young Arab leader exploited, Abdulaziz of the Saud family. Unlike Sharif Hussein, Abdulaziz didn't care if the caliphate ended or if Palestine was given away. He wanted to be king. The British needed a selfish, self-interested ally, so they supported Abdulaziz. With British help, Abdulaziz marched from Riyadh and quickly took Mecca and Medina, capturing the Hijaz with his forces. Seeing Abdulaziz's rising power, the ulema of Mecca pledged allegiance to him at the Kaaba. After conquering Mecca and Medina, Abdulaziz's rule spread across the region, and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia was born. Abdulaziz became its first king. King Abdulaziz divided Saudi Arabia into 2 major parts, Najd, whose capital was Riyadh, and which he assigned to his elder son Saud, and the Hejaz, Mecca and Medina, which he gave to his second son, Prince Faisal. Shortly after the state took shape, oil was discovered in nearby Bahrain. The Middle East oil rush had begun. Abdulaziz and his British friends began searching for oil in Saudi Arabia. After 6 years with no success, a poor Bedouin came to the Western geologists, took them by the hand, and led them toward Dammam, where he insisted the oil would be found. They followed and discovered what became the world's largest oil reserves. Soon the world's demand for oil exploded with the outbreak of World War II, and Abdulaziz began selling Saudi oil globally. The kingdom's wealth multiplied thousands of times. Abdulaziz, once poor, became one of the world's most powerful rulers. During World War II, Abdulaziz stood firmly with the United States against Hitler. But after the war, his British allies helped establish a new country, Israel. The day Israel declared independence, many Arab states attacked. Yet Abdulaziz remained silent. He did not intervene to defend Palestine. Only 800 Saudi volunteers went to fight. Only one man in the Saudi family spoke out strongly for Palestine, Prince Faisal. He stood at the UN and declared that Saudi Arabia did not recognize Israel. A few years later, Abdulaziz grew old and, before dying, expressed the wish that his successor be Faisal rather than Saud. He even told Faisal he wished he had 3 more sons like him. Before he died, Abdulaziz made Faisal swear loyalty to Saud 7 times. When Abdulaziz passed away, his eldest son Saud became king. Why did Abdulaziz prefer Faisal over Saud?